Hi, my name is Celeste Shirley, and I want to speak today about the ability to experience anxiety and not be taken down by it. Anxiety is a very contrasting experience physically. So you'll find that in that stress response of anxiety, your muscles will get tight, you're going to have your pupils dilate, there's going to be a whole escalation in your physiology, blood pressure, heart rate, etc. And what your most important task is, as a human that wants to stay alive in the experience of anxiety but not be taken down by it, is to move. Movement is meeting the frenetic, chaotic energy of the anxiety. So if you can move, like we're doing now, if you can move, there'll be more ability to use the energy in the anxiety. And anxiety has a posture. It's like when you turn into the letter C and you contract in through the thoracic area and your diaphragm gets squeezed and your breath is less full. And that is one of the first things that happens when you experience stress. So one of the best things to do is to move and to open up your posture. So movement is extremely helpful with anxiety. One using a breath technique called breath of joy, which I'll show in the next video, is extremely helpful for using that frenetic energy when you're in anxiety, because it's actually a conduit for change. It's actually showing us that our life isn't right. So it's not a bother. It's actually, I like to call it in my book, a postcard from a friend saying, I'm over here in the fear section. Can you meet me here? Can you help me understand how I need to change things in my life? So if you can listen to the message in the anxiety, it's showing you you're not experiencing what you need, or you don't know how to do what you need, or you need help. There's a message there. It isn't a bother. It isn't a nuisance. It's that, yes, I'm going to go off track a bit here, but we're such pleasure seekers in our culture that we don't know how to experience the discomfort of anxiety that has a useful message. I used to teach something years ago called how how mystical anxiety is. And if we can be more mystical with the experience of anxiety and recognize that we don't know what it's showing us exactly yet, then we will have indicators. So, for example, this morning I had severe anxiety because I had a family dispute and I felt so uncomfortable because I couldn't communicate effectively. And I could see that everything was in lockdown. There was just no potential to create a communication with my family member at that time. So, what I did was I did my practice and I did my yoga. And it was so hard to stay in the practice of yoga because I had all these compelling statements of what they said to me and how it hurt. And yet, if I kept going into my breath, the statements were over by the time I finished my yoga. I couldn't even remember what I was thinking. So, movement, breath work, posturing, opening up your posture, doing yoga postures. The word posture in Sanskrit, asana, is actually about sitting still in chaos. It's sitting still no matter what. If you're on one leg, if you're upside down, it's saying sitting still in any kind of physical experience so that you can experience a steadiness. And that's what anxiety is requesting of us. How can we stay steady in a shaky experience and feel the message that's there and how it can assist us towards true change?
The first pose we will cover is Cobra Pose. Cobra Pose is a great way to open up the chest and shoulders. And you can see here I'm kind of wiggling into the pose so that the shoulders can come back and down. So always be a wiggler if you need to get into a posture and feel your neck right. It's good to turn and feel like you can really lift and up and open through the throat. This opens the chest, the shoulders come back, and you want to press the shoulder blades back and down. It feels like you're pulling your palms back in the floor. They stay put, but it feels like you're pulling them back and down through the heels of the hands. The eyes lift, and that helps to open the spine. The next pose is the dreaded plank pose. Any pose that you do that helps to strengthen the core gives you more resilience, more strength, and that helps you to meet diversity or any kind of uncomfortable moment like anxiety brings. So you'll find that when you feel a stronger core, you feel more resilient overall, emotionally and physically. So I'm a big fan of doing plank because it's a straight up core exercise that works all areas of the core. I know it's nasty. So you really want to make sure you breathe well in plank. You can see here that I had to adjust at the beginning because plank can be kind of tricky to make sure the bum doesn't get too high. However, if it's too hard to do the pose with your bum straight in line with your shoulders, which is the attempt, the form that you want to get into, then lift your bum up a little bit higher, tuck the bum up, and bend at the waist higher so that you can stay in the pose. Make sure the shoulders stay down and back so the neck is long, and it doesn't hurt to smile. It actually makes a difference. You can also giggle in this pose. I highly recommend it. Just pull up a fake giggle, just go. And that helps to pull the core in. And the third pose is the cobbler pose. And you can see I like this one. This is often referred to as the butterfly as well. I'm showing you from the side because you want to have the back really, really tall. You grab the feet and you attempt to turn the soles of the feet up like you're opening a book, if you can. Now you can see the knees might be quite high if you're tight, or you might be able to get them down more. Here I'm showing you from the side that you want to really lift towards the front of the bum bones, and this is helpful. Turn your fingers in, and then you can press on the fingertips and look up. It's really pretty. You're going to open the throat, and you can usually get more to the front of the bum bones, and that helps a lot to help get that length right in through the spine.
And then just coming into some laughter. You can fake it too, like just coming into any kind of laughter you can pull up. May feel silly.
So here is the breath of joy. Keep in mind that breath of joy cannot and should not be practiced by those that are experiencing heart disease, high blood pressure, vertigo, epilepsy, stroke, hernia, or gastric ulcer. So if you suffer from any of those, then you would skip this breathing practice. It is a very advanced breathing practice, and I recommend that you just watch my form here while I describe it before you attempt to do it. I'm doing 27 pumps of my arms coming up in the air. The in-breath in between each pump of the arms rising is natural. You just draw the breath in. And the exhale is very forceful. It's like a Pillsbury dough poke that you pull the abdominal wall back forcefully and push the air out. You can see the movements are very rapid, and you can do anywhere from 5 to 10 or more repetitions. Here I'm doing 27 because I love this breath practice, and with my students we do 27 pumps. I take 3 relaxing natural breaths in between and do 3 rounds altogether of 27 pumps. Anxiety. So it helps to remove, cancel discursive thoughts that might be taking you down the rabbit hole of negative thinking. It also helps to tone the digestive system and to relax the nervous system. The practice of breath of joy really helps to stop and cancel negative thoughts. When you feel a lot of sensory distractions like anxiety, then you will have negative thoughts come. Because you're helping to tone and strengthen the digestive organs, it really helps to release the tension that gets caught, if you will, in the enteric brain, in the belly brain.